trees and tunnels. Leaves on the line made Henry's wheels slide as he puffed steadily through the forest, pulling his log car. Henry had to collect timber and take it to the sawmill. It had been raining hard, so the rails were extra slippery. Henry rolled carefully onto a little used siding, where loggers had stacked up the timber beside the track for him. Henry had also brought Rocky the crane to lift the timber onto his log car.
"It's very lonely and quiet here," called Rocky. "There's nothing but trees all around us."
Suddenly Henry braked hard. The jolt nearly derailed his log car and the crane truck. Rocky's crane arm swung round and hit the pile of logs. Thud! Some went rolling down a slope.
"That wasn't my fault," shouted Rocky. "Why did you stop so quickly?"
"Sorry, I had to," wheezed Henry, looking very startled. "I'm sure I saw something on the track ahead." "Well, there's nothing there now," frowned Henry's driver. "You nearly derailed us. Those logs will have to be fetched later. It's lucky Rocky's crane arm is still in one piece, too." The engine driver climbed out of Henry's cab to go and find his cap, which had fallen beside the line. Next moment he spotted some little prints in the soft earth, close to the track. Henry's guards went to look too, and they found some big holes going into the earth embankment underneath the siding. "An animal has been digging tunnels," said the driver. Henry returned to the main station, and his crew told the Fat Controller, "You can't use that siding until we find out what's going on," he said. Soon Henry went back to the forest. He took the Fat Controller and a forest ranger. The engine driver shut off steam, so Henry stood waiting silently. The light was fading as a stripy animal appeared. It came out of a tunnel beneath the siding. "That's a badger," said the ranger. Then two more scrambled out. "There's a badger family living underground here," he told Henry. "Those badgers must be left in peace. This siding will be closed," said the Fat Controller.
"Wait till Rocky hears there's more to my forest than trees," smiled Henry.
Missing mouse. The lost property office at the main station is always very busy. One day the Fat Controller said the man who looked after it could leave early for working hard. His wife and son, Harry, had been shopping and came to meet him. Harry had a cage with a mouse in it. "Meet Nosy, my new pet," said Harry. His dad sat on a platform seat. He put his hat beside him and peered into the cage. Suddenly, Harry cried, "Nosy's gone! His cage door wasn't shut properly." Then he heard a squeaking sound. "That must be my mouse," said Harry, but it was the wheel of a porter's trolley that needed oiling. Then a lady rushed out of the waiting room. "Maybe Nosy startled her," said Harry. But the lady was only hurrying to catch her train. As Harry's dad went to put on his cap, he spotted the mouse. "Nosy crawled under my cap," he laughed. "Thank goodness, here's one piece of lost property you soon found," chuckled the Fat Controller. "That's magic," shouts the magician. Thomas and his friends can't believe their eyes. Can you look closely at this picture and answer a few questions about what you can see? Question 1. How many engines can you spot? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 engines. Thomas, Daisy and Toby. Question 2. What colour is the rabbit that is jumping out of the magician's hat? That's right, it's a white rabbit. Question 3. How many children can you count? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 children, and they can't believe their eyes either. Question 4. What time of day is it? Well done. It's night time. You can tell because the stars, the moon, and some bats have come out. Question 5. How many top hats can you see? 1, 2. There are 2 top hats. The magician has one, and so does the Fat Controller. You've done very well. Now let's listen to another story. Prize Disguise. It was Halloween night on Sodor. A full moon shone as Harold hovered above the engine sheds. Can you point to the moon? Well done. I'm lucky I can see everyone's costumes from up here, he thought, admiring the trick-or-treaters below. But Harold wasn't looking where he was going. What was Harold looking at? Well done. Harold was watching the trick-or-treaters. He didn't see the banner ahead of him and flew straight into it. Whoa! Oh! He wailed. Look at that! People below pointed at the strange white shape in the sky. What colour is the banner? Well done. The banner was white, with red writing. Luckily, Harold managed to land safely. First prize surely goes to Harold, said the Fat Controller. What a splendid spooky ghost disguise. What did the Fat Controller think Harold had dressed up as? That's right. The Fat Controller thought Harold had dressed as a ghost. Spooky. Puffer Portrait. Peep! All aboard! Arthur's guard blew his whistle, then waved his flag, and the big tank engine chuffed on his way to the fishing village. I really enjoy working on the fishing line, steamed Arthur. Among his passengers were Stephen and Bridget. They were taking a trip to the coast with their grandmother, Lady Hat. The children were very excited. We'll take photographs of the fishing fleet with our new camera, said Stephen. We can take it in turns to use it, agreed Bridget. Shortly after, Arthur arrived and the children walked down to the port with their grandmother. Smile, Grandma, called Stephen. We will take your photo first. Then they photographed lots of busy fishermen with their boats and nets. Bridget saw an artist was working by the port too. Can we take your photo, please? She asked. Of course, he smiled. Would you like me to paint you all? It won't take very long. So, one by one, Stephen, Bridget and Lady Hat stood by the artist, who quickly painted their portraits. Brilliant, cried Bridget afterwards. They look just like us, said Stephen. When it was time to go home, Stephen and Bridget hurried to tell Arthur everything that had happened. Would you like to take my photo? He wished. We would if we could, but we've run out of film, replied Bridget. Just then the artist arrived. He was going home as well. Everyone was about to board the train when there was an urgent announcement. There's a delay on the line due to points failure, said the station master. Sorry, Arthur told them. We'll have to wait until the problem's fixed. Then Bridget had a good idea. She spoke to the artist, who fetched his seat, sketchbook and paints. He sat down in front of a puzzled Arthur. What are you doing? He asked. Painting your picture too, said the artist. He finished just as the line was all clear again. "It's as good as any photo," Arthur puffed. "Now we all have a picture portrait," smiled Bridget. I hope you was listening carefully to that last story, because now I'm going to ask you some questions about what you just heard. Question 1. Did Arthur's guard have a flag? Yes, all guards must carry 2 flags, a green and a red one, and a whistle. Question 2. What was the artist doing? Yes, that's right. The artist was painting people's pictures. Yes, that's right. The artist was painting people's portraits. Question 3. Why was there a delay on Arthur's line? Oh, you're good at this. Yes, there was a points failure. Engines can't go anywhere if the points aren't set. Now it's time for another story. Nightlight. When Elizabeth the steam lorry rolled into a ditch, Rosie saw the problem and pulled her clear without a hitch. Later, Lorry 1 broke down. Kind Rosie took his load. "Do get it there on time," he beeped, "as it can't go by road." Next day, Rosie worked past dusk, but then she had bad luck. Scrap metal she was carrying fell off her bouncing truck. "We'll have to stop and fetch it, but it's dark. How will we see?" Rosie asked her driver. "Oh, someone please help me." Then Elizabeth and Lorry 1 came driving through the night. "We heard the noise," they hooted. Use our headlamps for some light." If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like down below, as well as commenting and subscribing for more stories from the magical island of Sodor. Bye bye.